Hey everybody, Donnie Seymour here with SportsbookReview.com. Week 15 NFL action and the odds are out. Who's playing for what is what you want to see down the stretch. Who wants to make the playoffs? Who wants to hit the golf course? Who wants to better their seeding in the playoffs? As always, we get started on Thursday Night Football with the New York Jets traveling down to the charm city of Baltimore to take on Lamar Jackson and the number one seeded AFC football team in the Baltimore Ravens. Early lines open up as high as 14.5 for this game on Thursday Night Football. As you know, those Baltimore Ravens trying to hang on to that number one seed in the AFC to take it into the playoffs and get a bye week and preferential seeding on their way to a possible Super Bowl. New York Jets, squeaked out a victory against those Miami Dolphins on Sunday. How much they have left in the tank, and also will Le'Veon Bell show up, or will he be bowling again the night before the game and skip out on this matchup versus the Baltimore Ravens? Over-under in this game also at 44.5. If we flip it over to Sunday's action, full card, as we know, we don't have any bye weeks. Tampa Bay and Detroit. Early opening lines, not a lot on the board, but showing -3.5 towards Tampa Bay. As we know, taking a look at Jameis Winston, possible cracked, maybe a little fracture in his throwing wrist, and also Mike Evans with a devastating hamstring injury. Probably not even going to continue in this football, or go in this football game, and might be sitting out the rest of the season. Two devastating blows for Tampa Bay in that game. Philadelphia and Washington. Early lines, or look-ahead lines, I should say, from last week were -6. Now we're seeing 4.5s across the board, and what is the like about this football game? Darius Geis looks like he's going to miss this game. Also, if we take a look at Ryan Kerrigan, possibly to miss this game for Washington, and the Philadelphia Eagles, a walking triage out there, finished the game on Monday Night Football with one active wide receiver who was healthy, and that was Greg Ward. Lane Johnson, star right tackle, probably not going to be able to go in this football game. What a mess. We'll see where that line ends up a little bit later in the week. Mitchell Trubisky and Aaron Rodgers going to tee it up in Green Bay. That line opened up at -5 and -6.5, depending on where you were shopping. Now sitting at 4s across the board. New England and another Spygate here as they go out on the road to face the Cincinnati Bengals. You've been reading in the news here, the Patriots filming the sideline of the Cincinnati Bengals last week. Always interesting to see how that's going to play out. Bill Belichick, of course, claims we didn't do anything wrong. Well, if we take a look at the opening lines in this game, -10, -9, even 8.5 showing up. New England has been struggling on offense. Can they get it together against Cincinnati? And also a total of 40.5. Houston and Tennessee, big key AFC South battle. Deshaun Watson and Ryan Tannehill playing some of the best quarterback in the NFL. Who would have thought that just a couple months ago? Taking a look at the lines here, opening up at -3, sitting at -3s across the board, 2.5 with some juice at some outlets, and 50 as the total in that football game. Seattle and Carolina. Seattle got embarrassed on Sunday Night Football versus the Los Angeles Rams. Now going to go east and hopefully catch a breather against the flailing Carolina Panthers. That line opened up at 5.5, now sits at 6 across the board with a total of 48.5. Key game here, Denver playing much better under Drew Lock. Got a nice victory in his first start, and then go on the road and pounded the Houston Texans. Now they're going to get the Kansas City Chiefs fresh off beating the New England Patriots. But how healthy I should say, is Patrick Mahomes at quarterback after hurting his thumb in the New England Patriots game? Not really any lines sticking out. The early lines were showing up at 10s, but early in the week, they're waiting to get a better read to see is Patrick Mahomes going to be able to go in this football game. Miami and the New York Giants, a toilet bowl played up in East Rutherford. Fitzpatrick, we'll see if Eli Manning gets another go at quarterback. Had a couple nice passes for the Philadelphia Eagles, but it's clear and apparent he's really scared to get hit and was atrocious in the second half. And then you have Ryan Fitzpatrick going back-to-back in New York, almost pulling out a victory last week as he led his Dolphins to 7 field goals. We'll see if they can pull this one out. This line opened up at -3.5 and also a total of 46. Skipping down to some of the bigger games on the card a little bit later, Minnesota Vikings and the Los Angeles Chargers. That's a 425 game here on Sunday. -2.5, the line opens up in the favor of the Minnesota Vikings, but a spirited effort last week by the Chargers, playing much better on defense and getting healthier on offense. Should be able to give this a run in this game. Atlanta and San Francisco, great win by San Francisco, getting banged up in the last football game as well. But also you saw the Atlanta Falcons lose Calvin Ridley for the season. How much effort do they have going on the road to play the San Francisco 49ers? Odds makers open this up as high as 12 offshore, and that also gives a total of 46-47 for that football game. Los Angeles Rams and Dallas, the biggest line move of the week. Dallas opens up at a -3. Dallas now sits at a +1 at some outlets across the board, and a total of 49. Buffalo and Pittsburgh going to tee it up on Sunday Night Football from the Steel City. Buffalo almost came back to beat the Ravens, but almost isn't good enough here in the NFL as they dropped another game. Going to be tough to try to overcome the New England Patriots in the AFC East. Pittsburgh went on the road, took care of business, and beat the Arizona Cardinals. And then on Monday Night Football, the Baltimore-Pittsburgh game opened up at -1.5, now sits at -2.5 in the favor of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Indianapolis and New Orleans, Drew Brees -8 as they open up. Indianapolis had a 14-point lead on the road. The Tampa Bay ends up dropping that game. Now has to go back on the road in a must-win situation for them if they want to win the AFC South. But also the New Orleans Saints trying to keep pace and getting a bye week in the NFC. That line again, -9, over under 46. What an exciting week. Week 15 in the NFL. For all line changes and more, always check out SBRodds.com. And for all the latest NFL content as usual, check out SportsbookReview.com. I'm Donnie Seymour. Good luck with those wagers this week.